Blissey is honestly a very interesting out of game ban. Uh, it's definitely like one of those supporters that like does its job very specifically and very well. So, maybe possibly a little bit of a read from Keyblades or on Keyblades Unite from Impromptu here.
Yeah, absolutely. You love to see it too. You love to see it. Uh, Gonna see a couple of bands get started. Gyarados. I think Gyarados is in a really strong spot right now, and then looks like Keyblades might combat that with a Crustle band. So two really solid bands outside of the first two that we did see out of the game.
Ooh, this Pikachu ban would also be very interesting, especially coming out from Impromptu. Makes me think that they're going to be looking for dive characters or just building a dive composition. Keyblades Unite also bans the Dodrio immediately in suit. So
Yeah.
I both teams kind of trying to sniff each other out very aggressively right now in draft.
Yeah, and I know that Slimp is a gold badge dodo, so that might be very much, you don't want to let him kind of cook on that. Tiramisu though, the Trevenant first pick is locked and loaded. Tree right now in a very strong spot. You could take it either in that top lane or even as just that true defender.
Yeah, and it's got so many tools that it can balance compositions around. So it's one of those really great mons to get out of the way early in draft.
Indeed, yeah, Alolan Ninetales and Lapras, so double iced over on the side of Keyblades Unite. Not your traditional double ice, that Mammo Ninetales, but Lapras, I think still has some play here. I think it's still a pretty strong defender.
I think it'll be perfectly fine running that thing in the bot side. You still also have the very rare option of flexing it to the top lane. Doesn't seem like it's going to be Keyblade United's pick right now. But seeing this Hoopa makes me think with Candle's infamous Decidueye still on the board, makes me think if they might want to lean towards it.
Yeah, that Hoopa is definitely a strong pick. Going to be able to transport the team up and down. But we do see Impromptu lining up with a potential Mew pick. Pina's throwing out play Mew, you cowards in chat, and I don't know. Impromptu might be up for the challenge here, and they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, a really nice blind in the Lucario top side, which is going to allow Impromptu to send this Trevenant into the bot side, and Candle just locks in the Decidueye. It will be interesting to see if Freerin does go for that trick move set or just sticks with the portals.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it either way. And looking at the move set or the item set right now, they do have that rapid fire scarf, so it does make you wonder if Freerin is looking to make this a damage Hoopa, that X attack also, you pop that trick, you pop that X attack, and once that rapid fire scarf goes, that's a lot of damage if you have a little bit of a front line.
And then especially once you go unbound as well, Hoopa's stats flip around, and then surprisingly now you have 5 damage sources on the side of Keyblades Unite and a lot of A-press power. They'll also possibly have an avenue to go for the Phantom Force as well, because Mimikyu will be a great source of dive that can just immediately click that Phantom Force out, just in case it doesn't get a knockout, and it's got that perfectly safe exit while still doing all of its damage.
Yeah, here we go. Got Impromptu is going to be your team on the purple side. Keyblades Unite on your orange side. 0-0 best of 3. This is game number 1, Ribbon.
Yes, absolutely. Now, this Mew is going to have a very interesting time clearing this jungle, especially in something that's going to want to scale as well as this Decidueye in the back end. So this Mew's going to have plenty of time to do a full clear. More on the bot side, though, sending this A9 down, it's going to be a little bit of a flip to see who gets this first little bit of farm.
Yeah, here we go. Lapras is going very deep on the purple side team, the Impromptu side, and is secured by that Ninetales. This Trevenant is kind of low here. Lapras is going to go dive in. This is a lot of damage onto their tank, who's now going to have to grab a Citrus Berry. Looked like Hoopa might have stolen the other one over on that top side, and all of a sudden you do have an Alolan Ninetales already right now.
Yeah, and especially just off of 2 pieces of farm, it's going to really allow Keyblades Unite to bully this bot lane. And then especially without having Sylveon on that level 4 and only having the Phantup as well, you have an extremely weak lane against something as dominant as Alolan Ninetales.
Yeah, Ninetales, it's one of those things that has a very good early game. 850 birds are going to be coming up here. We have 3 members of Keyblades Unite and also Impromptu. We actually have a 4th member coming on up. Hoopa tries to throw a portal. Electro Ball from Mew goes in. The Mewsted basic attack takes out the Mimikyu. And Impromptu, just like that, they have a little bit of an advantage in this top path, Ribbon.
Yeah, they really caught Keyblades Unite with their pants down. The perfect timing on that roam from that Sylveon, fresh off of level 4, definitely caught Keyblades Unite on surprise. It did look like they were able to at least get some value in the bottom side, getting that farm, and now they're here invading the jungle as well, possibly looking to flip the script and get this early game started for them.
Yeah, it looked like they got the KO onto that Dart Trick, but Marigold here with the Mimikyu is going to help take out that Mew. The Hoopa is the one that gets the confirmation on that knockout. Oh, no, Sylveon's going to be also in trouble, gets taken out by the Mimikyu just in time for these 8-minute Altaria family to spawn in the middle, and just like that, Keyblades Unite has a little bit of advantage for themselves.
Yeah, the script definitely was flipped, but it was not for Impromptu, and now they've gotten caught out here in the top side again. This Luca is having to flash, but not enough. They're able to collapse. And this is 4 people coming down on this goalpost. There's going to be some big scores, some big value, and some big XP.
Yeah, and there we go. Looks like Decidueye is going to be able to get online. Grabbed a couple of stacks. I believe they were stacking. Hoopa's going to send them back to base, and oh, they are actually going to come right back in. Decidueye does have to throw that X speed on, but they get taken out by Sylveon. And Ribbon, did I see my eyes correctly? Was that a Razor Leaf, Desi?
It may have been. I didn't exactly check the items, and now I'm kind of considering why I didn't. But nice knockout here from this A9 to really hold this goal. Mari doing some really good job of avoiding a ton of damage around multiple members of Impromptu.
Yeah, it's 6:45. They do break that top path, but both teams are starting to migrate down towards this bottom path. Trevenant is looking to try to take and zone away this Lapras. Mew is on Surf, surfs away Cowabunga, unable to get really the damage that they're looking. Switches on over to Solar Beam, and 4 members of Impromptu are looking for this Regice.
Yeah, and honestly, this Lapras doing so well and being so big is going to be a really hard threat for Impromptu to take out, because Mew doesn't really boost through Lapras as well as like this possibly the Sylveon could, but that's their only real source of cracking that shell. So this Lapras is going to be able to do a really great job in holding this front line.
Ooh, and Ninetales does get the secure onto that Regice. Hoopa's going to go back to base. We have a lot of Solar Beams coming up, does a bit of damage into the Decidueye, and it is a Razor Leaf Decidueye. Not only that, Ninetales gets a couple KOs, and it looks like Keyblades Unite is looking to close out this basement goal zone, 182-85 here at the 545 mark.
Yeah, probably looking to just get those goals broken early so they can maintain the macro dominance with those portal Hoopas. But super interesting to see Candle here going for this Razor Leaf. They will be able to really peel for themselves a lot better against something like this Lucario and like this Trevenant. But they're going to have a hard time reaching that Mew. And unless this Mimikyu can really just be the win condition in taking that pick out, that Mew's going to be firing for free for a lot of this game.
Yeah, Lucario goes down. Shedinja Doll by the Mimikyu, looking for another Shadow Sneak, finds it onto the Sylveon, who then uses the Fairy Frolic. Trevenant with a nice Wood Hammer gets the confirmation onto the Mimikyu, who's going to have another 15 seconds before they're going to be able to rejoin the fray. Trevenant now going to be able to try to grab the rest of this neutral Altaria farm in the middle, and just like that, Impromptu looking pretty good. That was a good exchange for them.
Yeah, very important that Hoopa actually dove into that farm and nicked one little piece that got them level 9. So they will be able to just safely hold and sit on this ult. They're more than likely just going to hold defense, play the line right now. Both teams have kind of played out their farm. So it seems like so far the Razor Leaf Decidueye has been doing well, but just like we saw in that earlier engagement, a little bit of the top side. But nope, things are going off here, Kyle.
Yeah, we got Hoopa rings are unbound, doing a bit of damage into the jungle area of Impromptu. Those side beams hit far, so Impromptu is just going to have to back up here before Trevenant does go down, though. So big KO there gets that, pushes them away from this objective that is just now spawning. And we have this Razor Leaf Decidueye doing what they do, and they're just absolutely taking it off the map here.
Yeah, Lucario is getting a sneaky 40 cap up in that top side. It's still going to not really help the point gap, but it is going to lessen things, especially if Impromptu can try to find a good punish in this little bit of a late game. Maybe use some of these ults to push this tier 1 pad, because Keyblades Unite really only has that A9 and that Decidueye Unites to rely on just in case they try to do something here.
Yeah, I mean, right now you have 3:30, so we have a minute and a half until the next, the Rayquaza. I don't believe they'll have enough time for, another objective, but nice little push here from Impromptu. They're going to be able to at least get this goal zone pretty close to broken. Not quite have enough money just right now. Big solar beam. Snow Globe's also out, but it gets absolutely nothing. So big exchange there for Impromptu. Break this goal, but they will likely have to defend this Lecky from going in top side.
Yeah, no, they still have plenty of time to take care of this. Such a critical pick right there for Impromptu to get, knocking out that Hoopa. You saw the carries of Keyblades Unite waiting on that tier 2 pad in the top side, waiting for that portal, but it never came, and Impromptu took full advantage of that mistake.
Yeah, they're going to be able to clear this Regieleki off the map. No harm, no foul. They do have a little bit of score lead. 30 seconds till Rayquaza. No real objectives that are going to be able to spawn up, so both teams are going to probably just look to get some positioning and last levels.
Yeah, Candle is very, very short of 13, and will probably click into it before this Rayquaza spawns. Mew being 13 is rather huge here. They're going to have a big boost to that special attack and that cooldown. The main thing that Impromptu is going to be looking for is trying to counter this Mickey engage, because this Mew needs to stay safe. They need to stay in their pocket, and they need to make sure that Mimikyu goes down before they can press forward.
Yeah, and it looks like Impromptu is taking their grandstand into the middle of this Rayquaza pit. Mew's going to throw a boosted. Oh, big catch there by Mimikyu, able to take out the Sylveon. Big catch with that Shadow Sneak. Shedinja Doll does avoid that muted attack, and Decidueye now with a front line is looking to do some damage into these back line of Impromptu. Mew is going to throw a solar beam, but here come the rings unbound. We have some big damage going into the side of Impromptu. 2 members down. Just like that, Lapras Express is going to close off another. We have another KO by Keyblades Unite, and they have 4 members down. It's just the Sylveon who flashes on in. Are they going to be able to get it? No, it's Ninetales with the Secure, and Keyblades Unite is going to make their way to these goals, Ribbon.
Oh, Marigold stopping that Sylveon Unite right there might have been really crucial, because that was almost the perfect time Fairy Frolic to snipe that Rayquaza away. But Keyblades Unite just finds the masterful team fight, and with Marigold on that flank immediately deleting that Sylveon, just send Impromptu into a frantic, and they're going to walk away with this game 1, Kyle.
Yeah, that was a big catch, and you saw it, Ribbon. I mean, you saw the Sylveon just helpless. You get caught in that position. There's not really a whole lot that you can do. I mean, you saw how quick Mario was able to shred that special attacker down. The Shadow Sneak, and then just a couple, a little bit of damage with the claw and basic or no, their play rough. Sorry, but yeah, that's just rough. Not much you could do there.
Yeah, especially with something as so unreactable as Shadow Sneak. That Sylveon really got snuck up on. Mari just doing a great job of honestly walking through that top side and just getting into that little side brush. This is something I have loved doing in my solo queue games recently, actually, because you can catch just so many people off guard, especially if there's nobody watching that top side.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things that Shadow Sneak is able to do for you. The more walls and bushes that you cast it through, the farther that it goes. So if you get very unique, you could be really creative with the way that you search and kind of check some of the bushes of your opponents. And just like that, you get a crazy pick off right there and really set the tone for that entire Ray fight.
Absolutely, because Keyblades Unite could just really press forward and nothing could touch or reach Candle, especially when you're running away from the onslaught of those Razor Leafs. Still putting up some really solid numbers, but then Marigold's definitely MVP of that game, doing a lot of damage, and Darn doing a really great job of stopping that dive and really just doing their best to clean up any sort of team fights and catching out any stragglers, especially dealing with that Lucario as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Lucario wasn't really able to get in and do what they wanted to do. But big damage all around. Ninetales, 70k damage. That's a lot. Obviously, the Mew on the side of Impromptu did a lot themselves, but I mean, you didn't get the limbs that you wanted, right? I mean, you look at it, each side, Mari herself able to get 12 Ks, 8 assists. Obviously, the points come in mostly after Ray, but 12 limbs is huge. I mean, no one on Impromptu even came close to that number.
Yeah, and it was just really rough because like you want to try to get a big priority pick on a target like the Decidueye, but they've got a Lapras surrounding them along with an A9 sitting hardly by their side, and then Mari's just in your backline and free wins anywhere in between all of that. So it's just really rough to get a sharp, consistent game plan, especially when you fall behind so early and Mari just kind of takes over the map and just terrorizes.
Yeah. Pretty big game there. So 1-0 Keyblades Unite. You're gonna get these teams situated in back into the lobby here in just a second. But yeah, 216, 215, your final. Pretty big. Big team fight. Got the Quadra KO to end that Rayquaza fight, and whew, good way to start it if you're Keyblades Unite.
Yeah, let Candle cook, honestly. Let Candle cook.
I mean, that's the thing with Decidueye. I mean, Razor Leaf not usually the method of choice for Desi, but it can work. It absolutely can work, especially if you have a really strong front line.
It's really great drafting as well because I feel like if there was like say like anything that could have gone wrong that game, the Hoopa could have easily adjusted to Trick and Phantom Force to, play for more of that pocket on that Decidueye. But I feel like they really just knew how much of a commanding lead Mari had in that early swing. So they just decided to prioritize the portals, keeping them safe, and then the Decidueye kind of just did as it did and just got to press A while like maintaining on maximum safety because Trevenant wants to dive that Decidueye, but also it wants to take care of the Mimikyu that's currently in its backline.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you got a lot of space. I mean, when you have the space, you could do it. Still text Mimikyu's pick rate should be so much higher. Honestly, I was really surprised that we didn't see it on LAN as much as we did in like AOS Cup. Because like when I think of like what Pokemon do really well on LAN, it's like anything that would benefit from less ping. So anything that's skill shot driven, which obviously Shadow Sneak can be, right? You need to hit it, otherwise you miss it and you don't get to actually do and dive. I feel like that would be a really strong pick there. It's obviously has some play in the competitive scene. I'd love to see it more. But
And what else? I feel like a lot of Mimikyu's strength comes from an inability for teams to deal with it. It's one of those it's one of those late draft pick answers, kind of akin to Delphox, where like you could either do like all right with it, but like suboptimal, or you just really pop off with it. Mainly just picking it into such a squishy front line, like something that Impromptu had, just really allowed for those dashes to go around and do everything. And Mari making excellent use of the play rough to, dodge danger. So,
yeah. I remember when Play Rough first came out and how oppressive it was. I mean, I think it's still really good. I mean, any move that allows you to express skill on being able to dodge big damage, I mean, whether it's a Unite move that you're dodging or whatever. I mean, that adds value. I mean, you think of something like, Cinderace Feint. I mean, it's not like uh it doesn't do damage, right? So people think, oh, it's a bad, like, not all people, but some people think it's a bad move because it doesn't do damage, but it allows you like almost a get out of jail free card if you play it right. And especially if you're playing a more, squishy version of Mimikyu, no focus band, could be a big difference between, living and getting KO'd.
Yeah, and it's like the same thing like the Decidueye Razor Leaf too, right? Like normally like you need that dash for that little bit of repositioning and maneuverability, but if like a situation implies where you could get maximum value out of that feint and dodging like really like high value skill shots, all while still like especially once you hit level 13 and you start getting those iframes where you can attack back as well, it's really lethal.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just playing against a Zeraora today, and it's just like there's just some moves that just tilt you so much because you can't do anything about it. Wild charge being one of them. It's just like he got me. Like I can't even hit him, and there's no way. It's so funny. We are waiting. Looks like we have just like a very slight delay. Um, looks like one of the members on Impromptu having some switch issues with the game. So they're reloading it up and we'll get right to it. I will do a quick ad here before so we don't get owned by ads. And never want to get owned by ads mid match, so we'll try to run it right now.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see what we're going to have in this next match.
Yeah, I feel like Impromptu really just committed to the Jungle Mew, and it seemed like it was doing really great work. It's just more of the front line that they had really just could not answer that Mikyu. Sylveon has such a really tough matchup into Mimikyu, especially when you're running Hyper Voice because
Hmm.
you want to be able to keep that mid range. So you have to really just rely on dodging it because you can't even really block it with Calm Mind. Plus, you only really block the damage. It can still make you can still hop to you and then go somewhere else and like flash on another one of your carries. So it's just really rough for them
Hmm.
to deal with. I feel like Impromptu is just gonna have to really just bring it back to the drawing board. Try out something a little bit different. I feel like banning that Pikachu was definitely a little bit of a tell.
Hmm.
So I don't think Keyblades Unite like went for that target ban, but like they really just set it up to allow that Dodrio first pick as well because with Pika off the board and one of Doty's main counters,
Yeah.
um, you know, and especially with Blastoise already permanently off the board. They really only know their option to force Keyblades Unite into is playing Slowbro, but then you're also just
Mm.
getting to literally pick their defender for them too.
Right.
So like I could see where the draft was coming from. It was just maybe the Pikachu was a little bit of a tell.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they navigate that. They are switching sides, so Keyblades will be able to have that first pick, which should be very interesting to see how they play that differently, opposed to having that second pick, the second and third pick, I guess you could call it.
Mhm. I feel like there is a certain comfort in like drafting on orange side sometimes though,
Hmm.
because like you really just do get to play more reactive and like play for counters a little bit more, especially in getting that like fifth pick slot as well. So I feel like
Hmm.
it's something if you really just need to like you just like you came in with a plan and the plan doesn't work, I feel like playing on orange side is definitely a lot more ways, a way to kind of like reset and like try to see like and try to get a little bit more anticipatory of what Keyblades United is trying to do and seeing how just countering out better in draft.
Peak. Still nobody in the lobby, so we're still waiting for that 5th. So apologies for the delay, but you know how the Unite game is on the Switch. Very well put together, very stable.
Yep, small indie company in TCPI,
Yeah, they said they had to clear like their cache, which uh you know, I don't know if you've had to do that before, but it's just a pain. It
Yeah.
just like holds you hostage on the loading screen, and like nothing you could do about it. Wild. Yeah, still waiting. Still waiting for that. That's okay. Yeah, we got just their last person is waiting to queue up.
Do you
1-0
think they're gonna allow?
Keyblades.
Do you think they're gonna? You think they're going to allow phalanx at NAIC?
I think so. I think they will. I haven't seen. I imagine it was banned. It was banned for UCS. Yeah,
Yes.
it wasn't banned for anything bug related. So they're just saying new. Based on previous ones, they allowed Meowscarada after a certain period of time. Yeah, but also here's the other thing. Here's where I'm thinking no. I'm thinking no because if they are starting it, like if they're starting the tournament with it banned, they should finish the tournament with it banned. So I could see them not allowing it.
Yeah, that
But
does make
that'd be
sense.
the only way. But yeah, it's like it. Yeah, tech. It'd be a month out at that point. People would know how to play against it, or maybe we get a nerf to it. But I could see them not allowing it. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Do you feel
I'll
like
be
they're gonna you feel like they're gonna finally tease Ho-Oh at NAIC with
um
like all,
I
especially with
don't.
Phil like leaking?
Oh yeah, I did see that. I mean, in the past they haven't. In the past they just left that kind of stuff to
Pokemon Day
afterworlds. Yeah. Or like the anniversary event
and yeah, anniversary
afterwards.
event,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, like the anniversary event is what, like gonna be just 6 weeks ahead of, and 6 weeks after NAIC. Yeah, no, it probably won't happen.
Oh no. I guess they are stuck on the loading screen.
Oh
Deleted
yeah,
cache and
because
tried again. Yeah.
yeah, this is the no, this is the bug that like causes you to have to delete your cache. Thankfully,
Mm-hmm.
I've never experienced it, but
I had it once and it was just annoying. Luckily like it worked for me. It worked after one try, but I know other people where it locked them out for like in like an entire night, which I would imagine would be uber tilting. The Christmas bug, yeah, the Christmas bug.
oh, the Christmas bug. Oh god. Shout out to the poor soul that got the first draft game
Mm,
and was locked out of their account for almost a month.
that's wild.
If I remember the story from Reddit properly.
I would be so annoyed. I would be so annoyed. I'd probably quit. That would probably send me to quit. I'd be like, no, I'm done. Yeah, I guess we'll see. But yeah, NAIC should be fun. We got our team all registered, I believe. We haven't gotten anything that says better update something or anything, I think we're all good. So
I remember them talking about it on Overdunk, right? I heard that they're hoping for more than what EUIC was, which was apparently 8
it's
setups that
yeah.
turned to 7
Oof.
because one of
Yeah.
them was not working.
That's not great.
So, um,
That'd be a lot
apparently,
though.
like,
That'd be good.
yeah, like hopefully they'll have like at least 10. That would be cool. Um, I hope they'll have sets at least available like outside of the tournament for
Mm-hmm.
people to just play on.
Yeah. At NAIC last year, there was only one. It was just every game was on stage. From the entire tournament, 1 through 8 or whatever. They didn't have any side events. They didn't have any of the losers bracket or anything played anywhere else but on stage.
Yeah.
So this would be very different. I'm happy that they have that whole extra tournament, which would be cool.
Hmm.
I hope that they
It
continue
will.
doing that. I mean, imagine if they did that similar to how like Go and VGC and TCG do it, and every regional has, a um,
Like a
you know,
Unite land.
a Unite LAN, even if it's not a ton of championship points, right? Like not as much as getting, um, you know, the March qualifiers or the April qualifiers, but maybe you get something, some small nominal amount of championship points for your team if you compete and do well. Be cool. Be an incentive to play, meet new people and play locally too, so you don't have to spend like thousands of dollars on travel. She is back, they say. Back. Okay. Gonna let the teams know that we're ready whenever they are. I'm just hoping that the lobby doesn't time us out. We do have one out of game ban so far. Looks like Keyblades Unite is going to ban Trevenant, and then here it
Ooh.
is. Here it is. Mimikyu ban for Impromptu. They're gonna not want Mari to cook on that again.
Yeah. I feel like it's just a respect ban. Even coming from somebody like me, like if I wanted to like really try to like control draft, and especially if I know they had a really good Mimikyu player, I just get it out of the ballpark. It counters way too much of my champ pool.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that mon is just, I mean, I will always be inherently biased against just because of my mains. But let's see how Keyblades Unite leads. Looking at defenders, ooh, taking Umbreon off the board early. I like that.
Yeah, and an immediate Gyarados ban from Impromptu, and another character I think people kind of have slept on for a bit, but really since the last rounds of buffs, I think people understand the amount of power that this thing has, and just like that, we got the Dodo ban once again to deprive Slimp from being able to do it, and then this Pika is being lined up once again for Impromptu, and that's exactly what they're doing.
It'll be interesting to see what Keyblades Unite leads here. Taking this Mew possibly, but nope, they're gonna stick with the Crustle.
Crustal Crab. Yeah, it's still a really strong defender, and especially in the limited amount of defenders that are available right now. Obviously, Blastoise has that permaban this season. It's definitely one of the better ones. Snorlax is going off the board. Mr. Boldomp's grabbing that Eldegoss. And another good couple picks there for Impromptu, I think.
Ooh, wait, I like the little flex here from Keyblades Unite. Getting this Lapras here, really sets up a huge beefy front line. So Keyblades Unite really has the pick of the litter when it comes to like a possible like sniper or a backline mage to really rip apart Impromptu that the Snorlax is definitely not going to be able to reach through.
Lapras. Yeah, right now it looks like Crustle is going to the top lane, but Lapras has the XP share, and XP share Ninetales is also a thing. I don't know. This thing is seeming very interesting. This will be very interesting to see if they stay this or if they're actually just trolling us, if they're going to change. Slimp on that scissor might be a Scyther. I like the Sylveon pick, but there you said it. Letting Candle grab that owl once again, Ribbon.
Yeah, even though Sylveon is one of the better choices in breaking double defender comps, it's really rough to really charge into Crustle and Lapras together because that's one pick that's going to be able to box you out, possibly trap you in, and then Lapras is just going to be happy to continue to beat on you and really just get those Perish songs stacked up and just to stain off of you with those autos.
And that Guardy too, with very little dive. Obviously, you have that Lucario. I'll be keeping my eye on if it's going to be going Power Punch or Extreme Speed. But outside of that, I mean, Guardy doesn't really have anything that's going to like dive on top of it. So you might get some, Future Sights or Psyshocks out for free, and I think that's, obviously one of the larger ranges for these mages.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a battle between junglers here, honestly, to really gonna be pushing the matchups. I feel like a lot of these four other characters are really just gonna be battering at each other and trying to like maybe set up knockouts for these junglers, but they're gonna be the ones definitely doing the executing. And whoever gets fed is really gonna be able to control the tempo of those team fights.
Here we go. Keyblades Unite on your left side, Impromptu on your right side. This is game number 2 of week 2 action in the Articuno Unite League.
So once again, it is this going to be a Sylveon and Alolan Ninetales matchup in this bottom side. Lapras yet again, but this Crustle in the top side is definitely going to be a really big bully for whatever this Scyther chooses to be, because they're going to have the X Scissor to block off anything that either Scyther or Scissor would want to do, and then also having the option of that Rock Tomb as well.
Yes, Scyther is the choice currently. Obviously, at level 5, we'll figure out which one they're actually going to be going to. Looks like that was all gobbled up by Impromptu, just shy of these 850 birds.
Yeah, really just wiping some sweat off their brows, knowing that our laning phase is going this well this early on. If Impromptu can at least secure a little bit of this farm and not really lose any sort of life upstairs, sneaking the Sylveon in yet again. Keyblades Unite might be ready for it this time, though.
Yeah, they are 4 members of each team on the map. We have that Sylveon throwing that Hyper Voice into Lucario. Lucario is going to be going down. Scyther living on 1 HP in a dream just gets back to base. The Rock Tomb finds the base but doesn't find the KOs that they're looking for. Both teams going to back up and go back to their farms.
Yeah, it does look like this Scyther with that dual wing beat is sticking to Scyther. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Slim can sneak into these backsides in these later team fights, get on top of that Decidueye and waste them out. But we did see Candle going for the Razor Leaf last time, and possibly with a Scyther looking to dive on top of you, you go that moveset again and be just fine.
Yeah, Ninetales is and Lapras are getting shredded here after they push that goal a little bit. Lapras going to try to get the last little bit of farm. I believe it does get gobbled up by that Snorlax, if I'm not mistaken. But this Decidueye is now online, level 7. We'll get to see if they are going to be going back to that Razor Leaf or if they're going to stick with that more standard Spirit Shackle build. But here goes Scyther trying to get on away, using the dual wing big dashes on away. But here comes Lucario, big power up punch, gets the confirmation KO. Just like that, Keyblades Unite looking pretty good here in this top lane.
Punch on top of the power-up punch. Marigold finds the knockout and gets that advantage that their Keyblades Unite is going to be looking for to pressure this 7-minute and 20s. Candle's already level 7 and does go for the Spirit Shackle this time around, Kyle. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to be able to keep themselves safe. Mari keeping this farm away from this Scyther. They're definitely going to want to not let this thing scale.
Yeah, Decidueye going back to the jungle area, looking to come down to the basement path, level 9, 2 seconds and 1. We have a basement Registeel. Both teams going to be highly interested in getting this. Lapras now making a little bit more of a push. Eldegoss is joined the fray, but they get trapped in with that Rock Tomb. Blizzard Avalanche misses the mark. Impromptu just makes an impromptu dive away from that, but here comes Crustle from the back line, uses those stealth rocks, and we have Sylveon's gonna have to eject on out, Hyper Voice out. Decidueye with the snipe shot from downtown, though.
Oh, almost getting a double knockout right there. Call that one a collateral. Vol's looking to finish things up on their own. Keyblades Unite immediately rips this Registeel off the map, and Candle's going to look to continue to make it rain, opening up knock with knockouts from the Crustle, and Keyblades Unite going to be able to set up this goal for a nice clean break.
Wow, the Crab was doing some work. Triple KO there by that Rock Tomb? Stealth Rock build. Not something we see all the time, but when you see it, I personally is one of my favorite builds. It's not necessarily the strong, super CC that, X's offers, but it does offer a lot of slow, a lot of damage. But here we go. Another fight breaking out in this top path. The Psyshock is doing some damage into the to that Crustle. The block, though, keeps it from going. But here goes Rubble Rouser. Going to throw another Rock Tomb. They're going to get a huge, massive shield and live to die another day. That's a big turnaround for Keyblades right there.
Ah, jeez, Kyle. Call Deadliest Catch. This Crustle needs to be caged. This Stealth Tomb is doing, or this Stealth Rocks are going to be doing such great jobs and really not allowing Impromptu to escape. They're getting so much value off this push, but this could be a big cleanup for Slip. They deleted instantly within the 8-9 globe, and Keyblades Unite is going to be able to continue to hold this topside. Candle's looking for one more stack on top. Keyblades Unite getting maximum value off of that push.
Yeah, it's like Christmas Day for this Alone in Ninetales, just blowing things up with that snow globe. This Regieleki is going to start pushing its way towards this tier 2 goal of Impromptu. They are there waiting for it to defend. Looks like Keyblades is very interested to clean up anything that's left in this jungle. Eldegoss going to have to use that Cotton Spore to kind of keep Lucario from continuing their dive. But Keyblades Unite, they're going to just go towards this bottom and see what this basement Reggie has in store.
Yeah, and it's pretty free and easy for them right now. Impromptu really doesn't have any sort of utility outside of the Fairy Singularity to push a team fight, so they're going to be looking towards this top side to get some value while Keyblades Unite collects this Regirock.
Yeah, Regirock is captured by Keyblades Unite. Scyther, Green Illusion does help get the KO onto the Lucario. Lucario goes down, and now Impromptu is going to be able to close out this tier 1 goal zone, but not before Crustle chunks them down with a big Rock Tomb Stealth Rock combo. Ninetales is going to start trying to do that Blizzard Avalanche. Big Fairy Singularity helps close out a couple of KOs for the side of Impromptu, and just kind of trading back and forth right now. Lucario is going to help grab a couple, but over and taking a majority of this fight, it looks like Impromptu got the better of that exchange ribbon.
I feel like they got maximum value out of each one of their Unites. That Snorlax really preventing Keyblades Unite from walking up. The Cotton Crash from the Eldegoss keeping everybody healed. And then that Fairy Singularity chewing through the DPS of Keyblades Unite. Candle's finally going to be able to get some redemption after that messed upside that's allowed Impromptu to honestly catch up and really even things out here.
Yeah, the levels aren't looking too bad on the side of Impromptu, despite kind of losing a lot of these early fights. I mean, you have 3 level 2s already, and not just that, Ribbon, looks like they might make a siege onto this goal, and it's free 99.
Impromptu, we got to do some math. I think it's going to be fine. They are going to get that 49 in. It's going to be a 30-point overcap, but still, Keyblades Unite is ahead by 40 points, and getting this Regieleki to walk down as well. Might as well just put 20 more on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to walk towards that tier 2 goal. That's going to allow Keyblades to either set up in Ray or maybe even potentially take a shot at this basement Reggie, but doesn't look like that's what they're looking to do.
Yeah, Candle's already just pigeoned up in that side bush, getting a nice pick. It does allow them to actually pivot over. They do have the Crustle Stealth Rocks, they have Decidueye, they have Lapras, they have A9 left, plenty of time to burn this Regice, and those 2 tanks are going to really, really love that that healing buff that they're going to have over this Ray fight.
Yeah, it's going to span almost the entirety, but it looks like Maria is looking to start engaging onto this Eldegoss. does decide the better because they don't have vision on the rest of the team. Oh, big fairy singularity does hit the mark on Decidueye, but there's no follow-up. Gardevoir goes down. Just like that, a little bit of an advantage already for Keyblades Unite. They already have the score lead, though, Ribbon.
Yeah, they did burn the Lapras Unite in Sue, and those are two Unite moves that are pretty fast, but I don't think they're going to be charging up anytime soon. It's going to be really up to Impromptu to make something happen here. Freeren's already trying to find some sort of engage and really scatter Impromptu on the backside here, Kyle. But Keyblades Unite, they find Slimp in the backside. A9 finds two as well. Mari's looking to add on more. Snorlax takes a nice big fat nap, knocks up multiple members of Keyblades Unite, but Impromptu is looking to buy time. The flash of the snow globe, like a snap, a cold snap. Impromptu is shut out of the Ray Pit. And Kyle, I think this is going to be a free Rayquaza for Keyblades Unite to control.
It's definitely their Ray to lose at this point. Ninetales is diving in, finds the Eldegoss, but Lucario finally gets that Snorlax, who is living almost in the entirety of this Ray fight. But here goes Green Illusion dives into the Lapras, doesn't quite get the KO that they're looking for. Big knock Unite. Who is there? Is Keyblades Unite starting to take control of this fight? Two members down for Impromptu. Now you got to sink or swim. It might be time to score. It might be time to grip it and rip it if you're Impromptu, but you're not able to get into this Ray fight. So they're going to have to find some sort of advantage here, Ribbon. I don't know if I see it. The Fairy Singularity does catch that Lapras out, but this one's going down to the wire.
Yeah, Keyblades Unite looking to keep this Rayquaza close on health. Mari is here with the pup, and it looks like Keyblades Unite does end up cleaning up. It's a Desperation Unite, but it's nothing to do. Impromptu catches it on the Gardevoir. They're not going to have the time to score those. Slip will have a shield, but they're not going to be able to make it to either pad in time, and that will leave Keyblades Unite to, even with the time going up, they had two Hondo Burgers freshly lined up. Oh, what a clutch secure off of the AoE splash of the Moonblast right there. Probably put a little bit of light in Impromptu's eyes, but unfortunately, Keyblades Unite was quick to squash it.
Wow, that was honestly very scary. If they had a little bit of time, they might have had it, but like you said, I think Keyblades Unite realized that, even if we don't get this, if we are able to get the scores off, I think we have it, but no one had time to get those scores off. So the score remains the exact same. I mean, for the last almost 2.5 minutes, it remained 249-208. But Keyblades Unite coming up on top, 2-0 on this set.
Yeah, honestly, like really solid mid-game team fight there from Impromptu to really get maximum value out of each of their unites and really just put themselves in a chance to really take that game. And they really forced Keyblade Unite's hand in kind of respecting them there, even though they were finding the picks and finding a lot of aggression, especially with that Alolan Ninetales walking forward and strutting their stuff as they landed multiple blizzards and that nice little cold snap to finish off that last fight.
Yeah. And just like you said, I mean, you let Candle cook 71k onto that Decidueye, a couple of really large snipes. Not just snipes, really perfectly timed knock unites, kind of clearing the path, allowing Keyblades Unite to kind of stay in that Ray fight as long as they were able to. Getting some pickoffs. I mean, KOs, 6 KOs. Darren, though, 9 KOs, 7 assists on that Alolan Ninetales. That Ninetales, though, you don't see it picked as often, but it seemed to work really well for them tonight.
Yeah, and especially like if you know that you've got like a dive player on the top side like Slimp, I feel like it is a really good just blind pick to really control. Especially when Impromptu is going to be looking forward to really just press into you. It allows you to catch so many engages. Akin to like what Blaziken wants to do in a team fight as well. So it's really good at like catching aggressive teams and really just controlling the team fight from there.
Lol. It's not a Kyle stream if I don't mute myself on my stream while I'm trying to talk backstage. Lol. We aren't. What I would say is we're not going to be doing an interview tonight with these two teams, just with the timing delay, and then we are going to be casting MWO and Team EXO here in just a second. So don't go anywhere. We're going to drop a break, drop some ads so we don't get owned by them. So stick tuned, and we'll be right back, folks. Alrighty, welcome back in Pokemon Unite trainers. We are back and we got another matchup for you here. It's going to be Team XO versus the Mew World Order. This should be a pretty good one. Pretty excited to see these two teams. Teams that have been everywhere, whether it's UCS here, Weakness League. Seen a lot of these teams. You and I have, Ribbon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I can't hide my bias. It's gonna be hard. This is like watching two of your best friends fight over